Hello, I'm Tim Robertson, and I have 2 minutes to explain the civil war in Iraq. So when Islam's founder, the Prophet Muhammad, died in 632 AD, tribal Arabs were split over who should inherit what was both a political and a religious office. The majority wanted to hold an open election. They would go on to be known as the Sunnis and currently make up around 85% of Muslims. Others thought the leadership should stay within the Prophet's family. They eventually became known as Shiites. Centuries of political Sunni-Shiite mistrust would follow, and the fighting became more about power than theology. So now we focus on Iraq, where Sunnis are actually the minority, although a once powerful minority, thanks to the Sunni-led regime of Saddam Hussein, until it collapsed during the U.S. invasion in 2003. The next few years would see a rise of anti-American insurgency, with militant groups aligning themselves with Al-Qaeda and Osama bin Laden. However, U.S. counterterrorism campaigns, along with local Sunni efforts, helped to ease the threats. That is until late 2011, not coincidentally after the U.S. withdrew its forces from Iraq. An Al-Qaeda-sponsored group of insurgents known as ISIS began launching hundreds of attacks against Iraq's now Shiite-dominated government. Their goal? Redraw Middle Eastern borders and establish a single state governed by an extreme interpretation of Islamic law. Amazingly, ISIS became so extreme that it was even considered too violent for Al-Qaeda, who claimed it was impossible to keep their violent ambitions in check. ISIS has occupied major cities in both Syria and northern Iraq, including Iraq's second largest city, Mosul. They've obtained helicopters, tanks, and many consider them to be the richest terrorist group in the world. This situation is complex for the U.S. Aside from its implications on global oil, it affects our relationship with the entire Middle Eastern region. It also forces the U.S. to consider sending troops back to Iraq.